Hi, so in the last session we have seen quadratic expressions, right? How to factorize them when the coefficient of x square is 1, -1 or anything apart from 1 or -1. In quadratic equations, we'll try to find the values of x. So we know the difference between expression and equation. In what is equation? You equate the expression to 0. There is an equal to sign. So all of these are examples of quadratic equations. To solve these quadratic equations, the first step is that you will factorize them. And step 2 is you equate them to 0 using this zero product rule. You can make a note of this. What is zero product rule? It says that if any of the two quantities is 0, the product of any two quantities, then either the first quantity is 0 or the second quantity is 0, or both can be 0. But most importantly, any one of them can be equal to 0. We know that, right? Even 0 into b is equal to 0, or a multiplied by 0 is also 0. Okay, a lot of students have confusion around this, that they assume that both have to be 0, a and b. No, either one of them can be 0 or both can be 0. That is what is the zero product rule. Now we'll see some examples of how to apply this step 2. So let's say we have factored, okay, the given quadratic expression. Now when you are equating it to 0, you take the first product x minus 2 as a and the second one as b. So the solution becomes either x minus 2 is 0 or x plus 5 is 0. So from there you get two values of x. Similarly, in the second one, after factorization, either the first quantity 2x plus 3 is 0 or the second quantity y minus 7 is 0. So either x is -3 by 2 or y equal to 7 or both. Okay, so this is how you will need to apply the zero product rule, and I hope this is clear that either one of them should be equal to 0. So we'll solve few examples on this. Now solve for x if x square plus 13x plus 50 is equal to 14. Now before solving or before factoring the quadratic expression, make sure that you bring the expression to this format always. The right side has to be 0, because to apply the zero product rule, there has to be 0 only to the right side, right? So here it's not in that format. So what we do, we bring 14 to the left hand side. Okay, it becomes -14. So x square plus 13x plus 36 equal to 0. Now take this quadratic expression. We know how to factor this. You guys can pause the video and try and factorize. So sum is 13 and product is 36. Write the factors of 36. 1 into 36, or 2 multiplied by 18, 3 multiplied by 12, 4 multiplied by 9, or 6 multiplied by 6. I can take the negatives of it, but it's not needed. The sum is 13. So as you can see, which one satisfies? 15 here, 13 here. Yeah, this satisfies. So the factored form of this expression is x plus 4 multiplied by x plus 9, which is equal to 0. This is step 1. Step 2 is the zero product rule, which says either the first quantity is 0 or the second quantity is 0. So that means either x is -4 or x is -9. That's it. That is how you solve quadratic equations. The main part is the factoring part. Okay. One more example. If x is less than 0. Okay, a lot of students I've seen that they kind of ignore. They don't pay attention to these things. If a condition is given, make sure that it's going to be useful. It's going to decide the answer for your question, right? So step 1, you bring 0 to the right hand side. So take 7 to left hand side, you get this. Solve for quadratic expression. The sum is coefficient of x1, product is negative 12. So let's start factoring. Negative 1 into 12, negative 2 into 6, negative 3 into 4. Same way, write the other way around. 1 into negative 12, 2 into negative 6, and last 3 into negative 4. We'll check the sum. Negative 1 plus 12, negative 2 plus 6, negative 3 plus 4. Yeah, so this is what we want. Sum is 1. So the factor form is x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 4. Okay, next, zero product rule. Either the first one is 0 or the second one is 0. So either x is 0 or x is negative 4. These are the two values or the two roots. Okay, they'll use a lot of words for this. Find the roots of quadratic, or they find the solutions of quadratic, or find the values of x, if all of these are essentially the same. Okay, now coming to this condition, if x is 0, can this be possible? The answer is no. Yeah, so x is negative 4 only. So in the options, they'll give 3 in the first one. That is how they create the traps, right? Now, one more. If x square is equal to 16, find the values of x. Yeah, so they can just say find the values. So bring 16 to left hand side. Most of you know this basic algebraic formula, a square minus b square. So these are basic algebraic formulas which you should be knowing. If anyone has doubt, they can write these formulas. These three should be quite handy. So a square minus b square is a minus b multiplied by a plus b. You can directly factorize this without any use of FOIL method or sum and product methods. Now, so we go to step 2 directly, zero product rule. Either the first quantity is 0 or the second quantity is 0. So x is 4 or x is negative 4. Okay, this is tested quite less. Okay, most of you would be knowing this formula. This is the standard quadratic equation. If you have quadratic equation of this format, ax square plus bx plus c, a is the coefficient of x square, b is coefficient of x, and c is constant. You can use this formula. Okay, so this is a standard formula. You can try and solving for these three. So first one I can help you with. Let's say if a is 1, b is 4, and c is 3, the values of this x will be negative b plus or minus under root b square minus 4 into a into c upon 2 into a. So negative 4 plus or minus, we have 4 square is 16, negative 12, which is equal to 4, right? Upon 2. So negative 4 plus or minus 2 upon 2. So you get to use plus ones and negative ones. So negative 4 plus 2 by 2, or negative 4 negative 2 by 2, which is negative 2 upon 2 or negative 6 upon 2. So the roots or the values of x are negative 1 or negative 3. So this is how you can use the formula directly. I hope the concept of quadratic equations is clear, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.